So should I just pick up one of these?
Yeah, in a moment.
Okay.
Just wait till...
First question. Question is...
Oh, the first one is, why are you so fat?
I asked myself that question for a lot of years.
I didn't really have a lot of say in it. I didn't wake up one day and think, I think I might be fat.
I'm fat probably because that's the way the women are in my family. We're all the same shape.
I've been a former sumo wrestler. Everyone knows what a sumo wrestler is. They're all huge, big, fat, fat guys.
Why I'm so fat is because I don't train as much and I don't look after myself in the eating department.
I eat regular food. I put on more weight than other people.
I did go up and down a lot. And it's interesting that when I went on Weight Watchers for something like 3 years, I didn't actually feel that much better about my body. I didn't wear bathers, I didn't wear tight-fitting clothes, and I think that's because a lot of it's in your head about how you feel about yourself.
It pretty much comes down to headspace, I think, for me. When I was growing up, I was always a skinny, thin lad. I think in my 20s, had a few relationship issues, kind of got lazy and sort of let go of myself, and then ever since then, it's been a bit of a roller coaster.
Being labelled fat from a young age has made it very difficult to live a confident life.
People say that I'm fat, that I can't do this, but I always prove them wrong.
Kids always tease me, I was always given crap. You get used to it, but it's not pleasant.
There's a thing we call good fatty, bad fatty. If you're a good fatty, then you're fat, but you still do exercise, you still eat well, you justify yourself, then you behave in a way that is acceptable. You are an ashamed fat person.
Oh, what a good fatty.
But if you pile your plate high, you're really hungry and you're just eating away, and you don't show any shame,
Oh, what a bad fatty. They're having chips.
then that's when people might start looking at you sideways.
Oh, bad fatty.
We're all human beings and we all deserve respect. And if you want to sit on the couch and eat donuts all day, whether you're thin or fat, that doesn't mean that you should be condemned.
When people say, why are you so fat? I usually say, why are you so rude?
Do people treat you differently because you're fat?
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yes, they treat me differently because I'm fat.
If I'm in public, somebody pretty much says something to me on the street.
A guy came up to me and snorted like a pig in my face.
Yeah, pig noises, dog noises, cow noises. They get really generous with the farmyard.
People look at you like you're a lower class of person.
People don't invite me to things that involve movement.
I was riding down the waterfront. I gave a little ding ding of my bell because there were some people spread across. And as I passed them, the mother, it was a woman with like teenage kids, the mother goes, keep peddling, you fat bitch. And I was like, you're in front of your kids.
The worst are kids, because they don't have that filter. I've just had kids come up to me before and say, you're fat. Straight out, you're fat.
Yeah, I'm gonna horrify my grandmother and say that probably the meanest thing people say is they just call me a fat cunt.
You have to stop caring so much what people think of you. And you just say, well, that person wants to yell at me on the street. Well, the world's full of assholes.
Because I'm a blogger and an activist who's pretty visible online. I get those online a lot. One guy actually said that he was going to smash my face with a hammer if he saw me in public. It was great because I was able to track him down and he was emailing from his employer.
I find people just don't want to be close to you. Ugh, I don't want to talk to that person. He's a fat prick.
And me and my mates, we walked into one of the buffet restaurants. And when we get there, they stop us in the door. They said, like, we're not allowed to go in anymore. They were afraid that their business is gonna shut down because of us eating that much.
They assume that I will always want to eat their leftovers. If there's, 1 or 2 mouthfuls left of something on a plate at a party, that I'm the one who'll eat it. Here, you can be the human garbage disposal. Once upon a time, I lived that because that's what I thought I had to do.
People ask, how do you wipe your butt? Personally, I prefer the neck of a swan. How do you wipe your butt? Unless you're standing on your head, I'm doing it the same as you, probably.
I think people just look at you and think that you're basically a failure in life. No one wants to be fat. No one grows up saying, I want to be fat.
I'm not a stereotype. I'm a person with my own individual traits. One of them happens to be I'm fat.
Okay. How do you feel about the word obese?
It's a word. I don't tend to have feelings towards words.
Well, I'm yet to meet a fat person who likes the word obese.
I don't even understand it, so I don't If anyone said it to me, I don't even know what does it mean.
In the original Latin, it refers to somebody who eats so much that they become very fat.
Obese means that you've failed at being fat. It means that you've taken the next step from being fat to being extra fat.
It's a pretty loaded word, and I much prefer the word fat.
Being fat is bad enough. Obese is like, it's the O word. It's something that you don't want mentioned to you.
If you want to call me obese, you can call me obese. If you want to call me fat, you can call me fat. As long as you don't use it to label me as a bad person, then use whatever word you want.
Yeah, I know deep in the back of my head, but I'm obese, but I just don't want to say it to myself.
When was the last time you were skinny?
Define skinny.
I've never been skinny. Even when I was born, I was a big chubby baby.
I was kind of average until I was 11, 12, 13 maybe, puberty, you know. But I've never been skinny. I've never wanted to be skinny.
My mother couldn't lift me up anymore when I was like 4 or 5. It's just my genetic makeup. I would never clue what being skinny's like.
When I was a child, I actually wasn't what you'd call overweight. In my family, there is a real phobia of fat, especially along my father's side of the family.
Losing weight is considered that's like a magic thing and people want it.
So I asked to go on a diet when I was 8. I asked my mum. She had already dieted. In fact, once when I was about 4 or 5, she'd taken me to her fat club. That week she'd put on weight. So they made her wear a piggy snout and sing a song about being a pig. So if you think of a 4 or 5-year-old witnessing that public humiliation, you're going to start to get that mindset that fat is bad.
I lived through 20 plus, nearly 25 years of a very severe eating disorder. I was still fat all the way through it.
I got pneumonia and I was in the hospital for more than a week and I lost about 15 kilos. So what people might publicly have seen as, me looking my best, I was actually extremely sick. Yeah.
I used to want to be, skinny's not the word, slim. It was the sort of, idea that I used to think was going to make me a better person or was going to fix my life. And what bullshit.
Why don't you just eat less? Well, that makes sense.
When I used to diet and I lost weight, it felt like a huge achievement. And then it always came back. And then I felt like I failed.
It's not always about how much you eat. We all know that thin person who eats heaps and never seems to put on weight. Well, it goes the other way too.
Some people will sweat it off and lose 10 kilos in under a week, but I sweat. I trained hard as I could, but still I only lose 2 or 3 kilos.
Until one day I realised it was the systems that failed. It was the diet. It was the pills. They were unsustainable. There's a reason that those companies make lots of money, and it's because they have repeat customers.
Yeah, I have a bad relationship with food. I've never had a good one. All the good stuff seems to be something that I dislike. All the bad stuff seems to be things that I'll consume in bucket loads.
It's not that I love to eat a lot, but it's just that I love to taste everything. Anything edible, I'll eat it.
Got myself up to about 200 kilos and you're kind of thinking I should eat less and whatnot, but then it's just something that you just do.
Cut the plate in half, eat only half my food, and then 3 hours later I'd be starving and I'd probably go into the pantry and eat the first thing I could find. And if that was chocolate biscuits, it'd be chocolate biscuits. If it was a carrot, I'd probably just go for chocolate biscuits.
Got a local pizza joint up my way, it's drive-through. Of all things, it's drive-through. Even if I'm on a health kick and someone would say, let's go for a pizza, I usually say yes. That
question's kind of a trap for fat people because if I say, well, I eat a well-rounded diet, then they may think or say, well, you're a liar. And then if you start saying, well, I actually eat, whatever I want and I eat cake every day, then people are like, well, of course you do because you're fat.
Are you worried about your health?
This question usually reads to me more like, I think you should be worried about your health.
In a word, yes. Being the way I am is not good for me.
Do I have health issues? Yes. Do I think they're because I'm heavy? Maybe.
There is currently a real moral obligation to health. People who don't want to say, ew, I think fat is gross, usually say, are you worried about your health?
I have diabetes, type 2, which is sometimes seen as the fat diabetes. I accept that my body comes with risks.
Being 40 years of age now, I feel sometimes like I'm 60, creaking knees and ankles.
Just worried about it. If my legs will be able to, to hold me.
I think as you get older, the more weight you have on you, the worse it is.
When I worry about my health, it's not so much about my size. I am most concerned about my stress levels.
It's not that I'm fat being lazy. I'm big, but I do hard work.
I work as an academic and I have a 20-month-old toddler and I burn the candles at both ends sometimes.
My brain kicks over every morning going, this is the day I'm going to change things. And then as the day progresses, old habits kick in and it always becomes I'll do it tomorrow. I've always been that sort of person that, I won't pay the bill until the reminder comes. Mate, the late fees and interest when it comes to a heart attack is death. And that's something that you don't want to go down that road.
The realistic situation is it's very, difficult to lose weight and keep it off. If you are fat, you may as well live your life happily.
I'm big and most people said that being fat will make you unhealthy. When I get to the health examination and it comes out like everything is positive.
There's no one diagnosis for health. There's no one set of parameters for health.
My heart rate was good, blood pressure was good, even though I'm big, but I'm healthy as well.
My health is pretty good. How's yours?
Oh, lovely. How do you feel about airplane seats? I love this question.
I hate plane seats. Hate them.
I absolutely hate them.
Doesn't everyone hate aeroplane seats?
When you're 6'10", 6 foot wide, with a big bum and long legs, you cannot fit in an airline seat.
For me, what's more important on aeroplanes is the behaviour of the people around me. Most people are pretty cool. You see some occasionally they do the whole, oh no, not my row, and then that. When I move to the opposite end or something.
If I'm sitting next to somebody, I don't want to impinge on their seat, so I will lean this way, which I might have to do for 20 hours.
I've stuck with someone that about my same size, and we were like both squeezing in this chair.
My favourite was a girl sitting beside me. I was coming back from New Zealand and she had an iPad and her boyfriend was sitting the other side and she tapped out on the iPad, why do I always have to sit next to a fatso? And I just went, why do I always have to sit next to an asshole? And she just never said a word the rest of the trip.
I always try to book for 2 seats. It's just too small. Wish they can make it a bit bigger.
Do you exercise?
No. I am active, but I don't exercise for exercise sake.
Yes, I do exercise, but not as often and as much as I'd like.
A group of friends and I did what we called aquaporco, which is actually synchronised swimming for fat women.
Going and doing aqua aerobics 3 times a week, that's exercise. I exercise a lot compared to what people assume I do.
Not only exercising, but it works as well. Going to work is like, going to the gym every day, and that's one of my favourite place to go and do my exercises.
They were saying, well, look, our bodies can do what other bodies do and we have a right to be in public places and we're bathers and so on.
There was a stage where I was on a really, really ridiculous regime of exercise. People don't believe me, but I would literally exercise between 6 and 8 hours a day. It was also on some pretty full-on diet pills at the time. They were basically amphetamines. I had this incredible manic energy, but in the same sense, I couldn't work. My work was in really bad state because all I focused on was exercising and losing weight.
Even though people encourage what they'd call obese or fat people to do exercise, when you actually go into public spaces to do exercise, you are not always treated with respect.
I'm not at the gym 5 times a week for 3 hours, and I don't intend on it because I really can't stand gyms.
I kept convincing myself that the only thing that made me worthy was that I was getting thinner.
I see quite a bit of anger and disgust. I think it's a really unfortunate thing. Who are you lazy fat person who eats too much, to claim happiness?
I was going to a psychiatrist at the time, and I went to him and I said, I can't do this anymore. I have no friends. I'm miserable all the time, and the weight's creeping back, and I'm doing 6 to 8 hours exercise a day, and I was sobbing and, really in a bad place. And his response was, do you think you could squeeze another 45 minutes exercise in? I was suicidal at that point.
Surely I have a right to live how I want to live, and if I don't like exercise, that should be okay.
Where's the quality of life? Everyone talks about the quality of life when you're a fat person. I certainly didn't have a quality of life when I was trying to be a thin person,
Is sex difficult when you're fat?
Hard question.
No comment.
No. No, not at all.
I don't know, I think sex is pretty difficult most of the time, regardless. Got to find someone who wants to have sex with you first.
The old missionary position stuff, those kind of things, they're still the same.
There's actually a book called Big Love. It's a book about positions that fat people can try, whether you're male or female, or whether, if both partners are fat. So in fat sex, you might change some things, some angles, lift a piece of fat here, move a stomach there.
Instead of being down there, you have to sort of be about here because you've got a bit of a cushion. It is more cushion for the pushing.
Like logistics. So a lot of it might be logistical. It's kind of like an adapted Kama Sutra, using a pillow underneath your back or bum so you can lift yourself up a bit more.
I don't think you're as agile when you're a larger person. Although I did read somewhere that if you're fat, you actually last longer. So
if you want to make it work, you'll make it work.
This guy, he's big. He's bigger than me, but he has I think 11 or 12 kids. Yeah, and I asked him, how do you do it? And he said, well, you have your style, I have my style.
My wife and I have a sex life, and I'm not going to talk about it because I would get killed, and there would be no sex life because I'd be dead.
I think everyone just have your own style to do it.
People are obsessed with how other people have sex. Maybe you're doing it wrong and I'm doing it right,
If you could weigh less tomorrow, would you? I could take a dump and I'm way less than 5 minutes if you like.
Before I even read that question, I said yes. In my head, I said yes. If I could weigh less tomorrow, definitely would.
For me, that's like saying if we could live in a land of pink lemonade and, cupcakes growing on trees, would you?
Sure, it'd be nice to not have to worry about trying to find clothes that fit. It'd be nice not to have to worry about plane seats anymore. Maybe
I wouldn't have the solid sort of fuck you vibe that I've got, When people are rude to me, I would actually take it on board more now. I'm just like, fuck you.
So growing up, it felt like to me that the worst thing you could be was fat. And so when I look back in my journals, as I always wrote, I worried that I had the worst body that anyone had ever had through history or would ever have in the future.
If I could weigh less tomorrow, definitely would. I think for me, when I'm weighing less, I move more, a lot more comfortable in my skin. Confidence is higher. Everything for me, feels better when you're thin.
I enjoy not obsessing anymore over my body and not worrying.
We could just stop people from looking at you weirdly by teaching them that it's okay to be fat.
You can do all of the things you think you can only do when you're thin when you're a fat person. Your body size doesn't actually determine what your life is like. Sometimes other people do. The lesson I have learned is to not carry other people's negativity and not carry other people's judgment. I have to live up to my standards, not other people's.
That's it. Finished, done.
Yeah.
That's everything now.
Sweet.
So I don't know if you're going to get much of a light-hearted tone from that, but...
There's all sorts of things in there.
Yeah.
These are great questions, by the way. That sex one, that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good, actually.
Great, actually. We got a lot of laughs in there. Very good.